Hello guys, it's Maddie Sumlish and welcome to another video where today I am building an apartment for first time parents. So this is 17 Culpeper House in San Myshuno. I really wanted to do like a family themed build, and I thought it would be really cute to do like a family who either have just had a baby or they are like expecting a baby anytime soon and they don't really know what they're doing. It's kind of, I imagine maybe not something that they planned, so they've had to kind of adjust the apartment. It's quite small, so maybe they weren't really expecting it, but they're probably very excited but also very nervous as well. So it's a little bit messy, it's a little bit makeshift as well, but it has a lot of personality. And the other thing that I really had in my head was that I wanted it to be really colourful as well. So you can see I started out with a few more like neutral counters, but I really liked this blue. I thought it looked really, really good. And just in general, I really do enjoy the Parenthood counters. I think they come in some really nice swatches, and yeah, they are definitely one of my favorites in the game. So I'm just about to clutter up the kitchen, and it's a little bit weird that I started with the kitchen. Usually I start with the floor plan and then kind of do the wallpaper and flooring and then kind of furnish from there. But I had this idea that I wanted to do a like U-shaped kitchen with the sofa on like the opposite side. So you can see I've got like a half wall there, and then the sofa is going to be up against that half wall, facing the TV in the other direction. That was the kind of idea that I had in my head. So I sometimes struggle a little bit with floor plans where I kind of draw them out and then struggle. They're either a little bit too big or a little bit too small, and sometimes I can't quite like fit certain things in certain rooms. So because I had this idea of how I wanted the kitchen and the living room to be laid out, I decided to start with the kitchen first, just so I could make sure that I had enough room for it. And actually it worked out really well. Like, I was very happy with the floor plan. There isn't really a good decent dining space. There is a dining table that I did manage to fit in the living room area. I think originally I was going to put the dining table like near the kitchen, kind of opposite it, but that is where I put the parents' bedroom, and then the like nursery is next to that. So it's not the biggest sort of space for a dining table, but I did manage to fit a small one with 3 chairs against it. So again, that kind of like is what I was thinking in terms of, you know, this was not an apartment that these Sims, like, I imagine it's a Sim couple that they bought thinking that they were going to have children, so it's not necessarily the biggest. It doesn't have a lot of space. They probably just had like the 2 sort of dining room spaces, like the chairs, but they've had to kind of adjust, so it's probably a bit of a scary but exciting time as well. I wanted to include a few appliances, but I didn't really like how it looked. I preferred the kind of counters to be a little bit clean on that side, and then you could like see directly into the living room. So I do end up getting rid of the coffee machine, but I do keep a lot of clutter. I just think it looks really cute when kitchens are really cluttered. I know some people don't like it, but I really do, and I think it feels a lot more realistic and homely. I know my kitchen is always just absolutely full of things I end up like collecting and keeping, and yeah, so it looks quite similar to this in terms of that. But yeah, I was very happy with how it turned out, and this is actually one of my favorite tiled wallpapers. It also comes with Parenthood, and I used a lot of Parenthood actually in this build. I'm just realizing the other thing, apart from like having a U-shaped kitchen with a sofa on the other side, the other thing that I was absolutely certain about was that I wanted to use the Parenthood Sofa, and that's the 3-seater sofa that kind of has like a soft like cushion thing to sit in, but like the arms are, I don't know how to describe it, but if you know Parenthood, you know the sofa that I'm talking about. And I had the idea to use it in yellow swatch. So it's a bit like a hard sort of frame of the sofa with like lots of like cute little cushions on top of it. So I knew for sure that I wanted to use that sofa. So yeah, those were the 2 ideas I had. So I didn't actually realize how much Parenthood I used. But yeah, this is the parents and the nursery. And I decided to put an archway leading into the nursery, and I kind of like how it looks with these curtains. I wasn't sure at first, but I wanted some kind of like draping curtains just to separate it off a little bit, and I used I think those are base game, the ones that I used inside the nursery, and then outside I just paired it with some paranormal curtains. And this is the sofa that you can see. I paired it with a very similar like chair, but it actually came from the Nifty Knitting Pack. I thought that worked really well. But yeah, going back to the nursery, my kind of idea was that that wasn't a nursery originally. I imagine it was like maybe a computer room or an office space or something like that. So it didn't particularly need a door, but they've now had to convert it to a nursery because they are expecting a child. So it's a little bit makeshift in that respect. That's why I didn't really want to put a door there. I imagine it's just something, you know, they've had to like clear out the space and decorate it a little bit. They've probably already bought like a load of toys and decorations. They are expecting a little girl in my mind, so they've decorated the nursery like really cute and already filled it with like lots of toys and stuff while they wait for their child. But the other thing I also imagined was that this couple have a cat as well, so I've got everything that you need. I've got like a scratching post and that little cat tower, as well as the litter tray and also food bowls. I was so convinced I was going to forget one of them, so I did put them down as soon as I remembered. But yeah, this is going into the living room space. I use this it's kids room actually. Kids room like kind of cabinet thing to put the TV on, and I thought the colours worked really well. I liked the kind of contrast between the dark walls and the dark floors and then like the really colourful furniture. You can see there's a little bit of a brown, yellow and blue theme, which I don't know if you think it works, but I actually really liked it. And you can see the dining table there. It's like just squished up against the wall. There's not much space for it, but again, I was just imagining like a young sim couple. Maybe this is like their first apartment and it's not the biggest, but they're just trying to make it feel as homely as possible. I also put some like knitting clutter as well, just to, again, really make it feel like a family apartment. They're first time parents, they're quite young, but you know, although I think maybe it wasn't exactly a planned pregnancy or like something that they thought was going to happen when it did, they still are quite family oriented and very like looking forward to the new arrival. So yeah, I wanted to kind of keep it nice and like family themed in terms of the decoration, and it just feels like really cozy and homely. So this is the nursing room area. That like cot I think belongs to, is it a spellcaster? And I wasn't imagining that the baby is a spellcaster. I just think it's a really cute cot. Like of all the ones in the game, that would be the one that I would want to use. And yeah, I'm just decorating it with lots of toys and things like that. A few even like skills stuff like the blocks and the books. Even though I imagine that the baby hasn't actually been born yet, again, I'm just imagining that the Sims are really excited as well as nervous and probably, you know, excited to buy all the different like things for their child as soon as they're born. So yeah, that's kind of what I was going for. Definitely a very like pink and purple theme, which I think is really cute. Like I was very happy with this nursery, and I actually really like how it's like connected to the rest of the house. I don't know, I think that like really works. It doesn't feel too closed off, and yeah, I can definitely imagine this was used for something else. I was imagining maybe like the Sims are really into the computer, like video games and things like that. So they might have had like a whole office just dedicated to that, but then now the baby's on the way, they've had to redecorate slightly. So going into the bedroom, I knew that I wanted to get a desk, and so I did initially struggle with the floor plan a little bit because I wasn't 100% sure where to put it. But I do end up putting the desk, I think, where I've got the mirror, and I end up swapping that out. But I used this bed from Island Living, which is really nice. I absolutely love this swatch, and it kind of informed the rest of the colors of the build. So I used a lot of like teal and blue and like peachy pink as well. It worked really well with this like side table, and then also just getting some pictures. I love these like movie prints. They're some of my favorite art pieces in the game. I try to use them wherever I like can, and I didn't use them in this build, but my favorite swatch is the Bob Pancakes one. And then just using this wardrobe that we recently got, well, relatively recently, with the 21st anniversary update. I really like this wardrobe. And I love that it comes in so many colors, so you can use it pretty much in any build because it's not like a particular style. It has a ton of swatches. So yeah, I really like that. And then just finishing off with some artwork. And as I said, I knew that I wanted to include a like computer area because that's pretty important in The Sims. And sometimes I do builds without computers, but it's kind of justified. Like maybe it's like a retro themed build, or like a family who's like really outdoorsy and doesn't like to spend too much time indoors. But like in reality, computers are pretty important in The Sims. You need them to do a lot of things. So yeah, I thought I wanted to include them. And then this is the last room in the house, the bathroom. It is a very blue. This is one of the wallpapers that we got with the new Courtyard Oasis kit. It is so bright and colourful, but I really like it. But it did just mean that everything else that I put in this bathroom, there was a lot of like blue things, but I did want to not make it too bright in terms of the furnishings, because that tile is a lot, but I think it looks really nice. I love like the blue and orange hues, and I thought it worked quite well with the rest of the apartment. And yeah, I hope that you liked it. I am so excited for the new game pack, Dream Home Decorator, I think it's called, something like that. I am so excited. I'm going to play that so much, and yeah, I can't wait to show you some builds from that. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!